Okay, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, guys, to episode 56 we're at now of Hello Hello, the podcast with me, Rammo, and my co-host, Jenz. How you doing today?
Hi. I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, you know what? I'm doing pretty good, too. Pretty, as good as I can
Did you get up at
guess.
4:30?
I did, yes, actually, this morning.
Are you getting used to it?
It was kind of all right, though, because Liverpool was playing in the Champions League this morning, and they kicked off at 5 a.m., so I was like, you know what? Two birds, one stone. I get up for work, and I get to watch the Liverpool game without having to unnecessarily get up at 5 a.m., It's always a bit rough when they kick off at 5 a.m., and it's like, I don't have anything to do that day, so it's like, I'm less inclined to want to get up at 5 a.m., but because I had already another reason to be up, I was like, you know what? I'll do it. That's fine. And then we won. So it was even better. Couldn't have asked for a better morning. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's been my morning. I am a little bit dreary because of it. But the Red Bull will help and kick in sometime soon, I hope.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, fingers crossed. How about you? How's your morning been so far?
Pretty uneventful. Had breakfast and that was pretty much it. All day.
Haven't been preparing for the weekend, have you?
We've been slowly getting stuff ready, planning stuff, buying like little things. So yeah, we've done that. And yeah,
that's very exciting. Yeah,
I know. I'm
it's
so
your first
excited.
time at any event like this, kind of,
Yeah, mate. Well, I don't really go to sports events, and
yeah,
it's my first
other than like
F1
Muay
event.
Thai or something like that,
Yeah. So and it's like the first time we're traveling too, so it's all like,
yes,
it's a lot. It's also really scary. So I'm excited.
Have you decided? Are you doing the drive or are you gonna fly?
We're gonna fly.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a little bit easier.
Yeah, unless we broke it.
To worry about.
Yeah, unless we broke it up in like 2 days, just because I can't really drive at the moment with my arm.
Well, that's it.
So
and it's like you don't want to have Stephen to do, or anyone for that matter, to do like an 8 or 9 hour drive. Like it's doable, of course, but it's a lot, to be focused for 9 hours at a time. Like it's so probably best to just fly.
Yeah. So we'll just do that, and then next time we can consider a road trip somewhere. Yeah,
exactly. I feel like you slowly got to build up to those sorts of things too. Like maybe do a 6-hour drive just to sort of see how it goes, and then you just push yourself a little bit more and more each time, like just to sort of build the stamina up to it.
Yeah, rather than going straight into the deep end.
Yeah, it'd be like me just doing a straight road trip, for the first time ever from Sydney here to like Brisbane or something like that, which is like 12 hours or something. Like,
It'll be
could
fun,
definitely do it. Could definitely do it, but yeah, I wouldn't want to. That wouldn't be on the cards for me. Put it that way.
You've been playing. Hang on, before we go into the news,
yes,
I just want to talk about. You've been playing the new Star Wars Lego game.
Yes, it did come out yesterday for us here in Australia. It should be out by the time you're listening to this. So if you haven't already, and you do want to go pick it up, I do highly suggest it because it is great, especially if you played the original ones, like way back when we were younger. And so that was the main catalyst for me, wanting to get this game. Obviously, also being a Star Wars fan in some sense, obviously. But yes, I played the original, Lego Star Wars games and a lot of the other Lego games growing up. So they're very near and dear to my heart. But Star Wars is definitely like, the creme de la creme of all of them, I would feel. It's great. I have no complaints so far. We only did play a couple of hours last night, me and Emma, just because I did have to be up really early this morning, so I couldn't, fit in too much. But from what we played, I have no real complaints with it. We did play in split screen, and it is a bit weird.
Oh, it's co-op?
Yes, so all the Lego games can be co-op or whatever.
Oh, okay.
2 players. I don't know if you can do it online, like over the internet. I think it is only co-op, but that doesn't really faze me. It is a bit weird going back to playing split screen games after having not played them for such a long time. Other than what was the one, like It Takes Two, that came out not too long ago and stuff like that. Like there are a handful, but for the most part, I'm used to having a big 27-inch screen to myself or whatever. And so like having it cut in half kind of is a bit of a shock, but I got used to it pretty quick, I think. But yeah, like it looks beautiful. It plays beautiful. All the upgrades they've done to it are well worth it. I feel like the combat is fun and intuitive. It still has that like little bit of humor that all the Lego games have, which is great. So
Does it feel kidsy at all?
I mean, a little bit, because it is a simple game at heart. It is obviously a Lego game, and most Lego is still aimed towards a younger demographic. Yeah. Obviously, Lego have tried to differentiate a little bit and make some sets for bigger kids and whatnot, but the Lego games are still quite young. So, it is a little bit kiddie, but I still enjoy it. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm too mature to like be like, ugh, that's, I'm
right, okay.
That. Like it's not serious enough for me. But yeah, like if you have the opportunity, I would suggest playing it, especially, probably because I'm assuming you haven't played many of the other Lego games before. I
haven't.
Yeah. They're sort of like their own little category, they're a little bit,
yeah, like how Telltale was their own category.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Telltale like did their own thing. The Lego games do their own thing again, But yeah, they're just a good little bit of fun. And these ones as well, they sort of open it up a bit more. The older ones were very linear in the sense that, you couldn't really explore too much. There wasn't too much else to do other than just sort of run throughout the level and smash a couple of things. But this new one feels very open. And it leaves a lot to explore. There's tons of little secrets hidden throughout all the little levels that we've done so far. And there's even side quests and things like that, which they didn't have in the originals. So it's, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of content there.
Yeah.
So it's, it's been great so far. I'm keen to play some more tonight, I think, unless we book in some Siege or something like that. But I'm feeling some more Star Wars, I think, But,
nice.
But yeah, that, and then, a little bit of Kirby here and there too still.
Oh, yeah.
Been enjoying that a little bit on the side. So, can't go wrong there. Oh, actually, you know what? We have also played. We just found out one of our friends bought it. Me and Emma have already put in hours to the game. But Euro Truck Simulator 2, right? We've played that before. We've spoken about it before on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a really great game on its own. But one of our friends just bought it because it's on sale. And she told us, do you know it has multiplayer in there? And we were like, yeah, there's a mod. You could get multiplayer mod. And we never ended up getting that multiplayer mod working. But the devs have actually added in multiplayer to the game, so you can have your own convoy. And so we spent, I think, 4 hours a couple of nights back just driving trucks around Europe with our little convoy. It was great. I honestly, I think we should do it one time for stream or like, a YouTube video or something, because it is just like, it's a bunch of fun. Just like,
we could dress up at truck drivers.
I was going to say, we could get like little overalls and like, like plaid shirts and stuff like that. It's obviously, that's not probably what European truck drivers look like, but still, we're going to stereotype it in some way. But like, we just put like, you can have the radio in the game or whatever, which is like, you can have real life radio. Sorry. So I was listening to like BBC Radio 1.
I love that.
Driving my truck along the road, and we were just like, we all tuned into the same radio station. So when songs come on, we were all like just jamming out to the same song. It was great. It's honestly,
I love that they've added that feature as like a immersion kind of thing.
It's just, honestly, the game is incredible in the way that it's like, it's so simple at its heart. It's just deliver this from here to here. But I don't know how I found it fun, but it's fun to me. I don't know.
I'm glad.
I love it. Yeah. So if you haven't already, try. I think it's still on sale. I don't know when it finishes sale, but if you're listening to this, run to the Steam store and have a look, because it might be on sale for $7, I think, and you can pick it up and it's great. Worth it.
Are we news?
What about you? Have you? I mean, you haven't been playing too much this week though, because of your TOS. So there's not too much we can cover on your front, other than you've been preparing for F1. And that's pretty much it, honestly.
Pretty much. That is my life.
Yep.
I have not been doing anything. I bet there's nothing new to watch as well, because everything launches on like a Friday or like later in the week. So it was just like waiting for it. But
I felt like I was missing something this week, because like Moon Knight came out and we watched Moon Knight, obviously, and we're going to talk about that a bit later in the episode. But I just felt there was something missing. I was like, I feel like an episode came out.
Yeah, we thought that too, and we checked it. And it was like, no.
And yeah, it must have just been one of those weeks where it was just like, it just ran a bit slow or something like that. And it felt like there was a gap. I don't know.
It was weird. It was so weird.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that experienced it. And a bunch of other people, I'm probably sure, on the same page. So,
but we were considering going to watch the Sonic movie because that came out. Same with Morbius. Mm-hmm. I've heard Morbius is getting terrible reviews.
Yes.
Not sure about that one.
I think that one, I think I've already decided to wait until that hits streaming or something to see that, because
skim it.
Yeah. I'm paying rent at the moment, so like every little bit helps. So I feel like I'm not going to want to waste a movie ticket on that. I feel like I would rather see something else.
And that movie, Everything Everywhere, all.
Yes. I have heard some people talking about that, but I
need to watch
no idea what it is. Do you know what it's about?
No, but I intend not to.
Okay.
So I think it's one of those
best to go into. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Like I saw like Matt talking about it obviously in the Discord, and I saw a bunch of people talking about it on Twitter, but like they weren't actually talking about the movie. They were just like seeing this on Friday, super excited. I'm like, okay, cool.
But I hear
I haven't seen any trailers for it. I haven't seen any sort of PR or press for it other than people talking about it.
Yeah.
So.
It's coming out April 14th, I think. So I'm so excited for that. It the only thing I've heard about it is people who watched it, all they say is if you watch one film this year, this has to be it.
Make it this one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm super excited.
That's praise enough for me, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's as good a praise you can get, I feel.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Can't get much better than that. Yeah. Okay. I might have to add to the list then. But yeah, we did want to see we planned to see Sonic as well, but we just got busy. We're planning to go one night or whatever at like 9 p.m. They have some 9 p.m. sessions to try and limit the amount of kids that are going to be in there.
Yeah. Good idea.
Because, obviously there's going to be a fair few kids, but we'll just see how we go. Yeah. Anyways, shall we jump into the news, Jenz?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off with this? This blew me away. I can't believe this.
Are you surprised?
A little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
So, as you know, we are Siege fans. And lucky for us, Ubisoft has announced that there is going to be Rainbow Six Mobile. A full port of the 5v5 first-person shooter Rainbow Six Siege that we love. Yeah. Interesting. Like, there is a lot of first-person shooters like Call of Duty.
We got like
Fortnite.
PUBG Mobile, Fortnite.
Apex?
Every sort of big one. I feel like there was. I don't know if there is one yet, but I feel like I have heard rumors that Apex Mobile is in the works. It is on the Switch, which is portable enough,
Yeah.
But yeah, another big AAA shooter coming to mobile. But like this one to me is a bit more confusing than some of the other ones, because Call of Duty, very simple at its core, run and gun, throw some grenades, aim down sights. That's about it.
Yeah.
PUBG, more or less the same. The looting is very convoluted on mobile. I have tried PUBG Mobile once or twice before.
Oh, really?
Always get confused at how to loot it. Like it's just the way that it works it out is a bit. Yeah, it's just a bit too much, for such a small device. Especially if you're playing touchscreen. If you're one of the people that have like a controller like mount for your phone or something, it's probably a bit easier. But if you're playing it how it's probably intended, which is on the touchscreen, it's a bit tricky. But like Siege is like a very precise shooter. There's obviously like,
barricades,
all the setup and stuff like that. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's a bit confusing to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like too, like on, what is it? On console, if you play Rainbow Six Siege, or if you play any sort of first-person shooter, I should say, on console, 9 times out of 10, it's going to have aim assist. Just because of the way that the controller works. Rainbow Six is one of the only games that I know of, at least on console, that doesn't utilize aim assist for the controllers. It is 100% free aim, so it adds quite a difficult learning curve to it. If you're coming from like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that, and you try and play Rainbow Six on console, you're going to have a rough time because you're not used to sort of the game assisting you in finding people's heads and stuff like that. And so I wonder if the mobile version is going to do that, if it's going to have aim assist. I would hope so, because I can just imagine the nightmare of trying to manually aim on a mobile on such a small device.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is what confuses me the most about this, is just because the controls are, you have to be very precise in this.
Yeah, so it goes on to say that Rainbow Six Mobile will retain the Siege's environmental destruction mechanics, allowing players to employ the same types of strategy in the mobile version of the game that they would in the full console experience. So it might just be a port from console.
I was going to say, okay, yeah, so there we go. It seems like they're not going to have aim assist then, and it might just be like a
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm curious if there's still... Because console is exactly the same as PC, right? Like, you still have to put barricades. You still have to...
Yeah, the gameplay at its core is exactly the same. Console to PC.
It's just
PC
the feel
console,
of it.
Vice versa. It's just whether or not you prefer to playing with a controller or a keyboard and mouse, or if you have the ability to play with a keyboard and mouse. Like, some people can't afford a $3,000 computer, understandably. So they have to play, on their Xbox or something like that. What's going to be interesting in this, I think, though, is, like, I keep my ear pretty close to the ground when it comes to Siege. I check the subreddit every now and again. Like, I'm on, Rainbow Six Twitter and stuff like that. I see a fair bit of the news about it. One thing that I routinely see coming up, specifically for Rainbow Six console, the version of on Xbox and PlayStation, is the fact that in higher levels of ranked, people are seeing more and more people using keyboard and mouse rather than a controller. So they're feeling like they're getting an unfair advantage in that sense. And the funny thing is, too, the way that they have to go about using a keyboard and mouse in Rainbow Six console is you have to buy some specific adapter.
Yeah.
Like it's called an XIM, I think it is, or like a ZIM or something like that. I'm not too sure. But it interprets the keyboard and mouse input and downsamples it into what a PlayStation or Xbox would recognize as a controller. Because if you plug a normal USB keyboard or mouse into your Xbox, it'll recognize it. But Rainbow Six itself doesn't recognize it as an input device.
I guess to stop people from doing it.
Exactly, because they've turned it off on their end so that people can't use it. So people that do use keyboard and mouses have this additional piece of hardware to bypass that, so they still get that unfair advantage. And that's one thing that I routinely see people sort of complain about is, people using that on console. And I'm assuming at all the higher levels on mobile too, people are going to be using the similar sort of thing. Because like I've seen PUBG mobile like competitions and stuff like that, where I see people using little, Bluetooth keyboards and Bluetooth mouses and stuff like that, because your phones can read a Bluetooth signal, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see if something like that is going to happen. I'm assuming so.
Probably.
But
yeah.
So, and I mean, it's nothing on Ubisoft's part too. They physically can't stop people from using these additional hardware devices, because on their end, they're just recognizing it as, oh, this looks like a controller, but it is actually a keyboard and mouse plugged into some device that's like dumbing it as a controller. So Ubisoft have done all they can, so that's the thing that always bugs me, is people still complain about it, but they don't properly understand, I guess, just how hard it is to detect these things from Ubisoft's end. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll give it a go. It seems interesting enough. Like, I think I'll download it when it comes out, because it seems like it'll be fun to just, play it once or twice and be like, okay, this is a bit silly.
It'd be cool to see what it looks like, but I don't think I will be playing it very long.
No, it's not going to be my main form of Siege intake. I'd be interested to see as well, like, if they limit the amount of operators that you can pick. Because obviously on console you can, they get all the updated characters and stuff like that, obviously all the new operators, but like, is mobile going to be the same thing? Obviously, I assuming they're not going to have all the maps. I'm assuming it'll be a very limited map pool,
probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. They haven't released too much news on this by the looks of it. They sort of just announced like, hey, it's coming out.
But yeah, if you're interested, you can sign up on their website to be part of the upcoming test.
Yes. Yeah.
Luck.
Yeah. Okay, have fun. Yeah. Stanley Parable, Jenz. You've played Stanley Parable, haven't you?
Yes. Have you?
I feel like a lot of people. I have played a little bit of it. I don't think I've finished it. I think it's about a 2-hour game, if I'm not
It's
mistaken.
quite short.
It's relatively short. But for those that don't know, Stanley Parable is sort of like, it's like an experiment in a way, a video game experiment, I would call it. Because
quite
there's
unique.
there's nothing else that I could describe it next to, or compare it to. It is a game of its own.
Quite meta.
You know what? The only thing, maybe in a very obscure way, I don't know if you'd catch my drift here, but Portal would be the only thing that I would compare it to. Yeah, mainly for the voiceover.
Yeah, and the themes and the way, that Portal talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the only thing that I could compare it to, but only the story of Portal, not the gameplay.
Yeah, not the gameplay.
Not the gameplay at all. But yeah, so it's been nearly 10 years since the Stanley Parable has released. And it seems like they're releasing a bigger deluxe edition of this game. So it goes on to say the first-person adventure, a seemingly simple story of an employee ditfully following an off-screen narrator's instructions, quickly branched off into absurd, baffling, hilarious, and sometimes disturbing pathways as it explored the nature of choice and free will in video games. And so that's why I mean that it's kind of a social experiment, like it gives the players a lot of choices in what to do, and you can disobey the narrator's commands or actions, and you can choose your own way, or you can just ditfully follow them like it says. And so Stanley's coming back in a new and improved way. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition will put you in employee 427 shoes once again on April 27th. So it seems like we're getting a brand new version of the Stanley Parable.
Yeah,
it's not
I feel like it's...
it's like a deluxe edition where you get like the DLC and all this sort of stuff. It seems like they have a new game coming out, a new entirely different game from the original that you know.
Yeah, which I'm very excited about because
yes.
I love when games have a bigger picture of something you don't expect. Like the There Is No Game is incredible.
Yes.
Because of that too. And
the games
so
that
is
trick
Portal.
you, where it's like on the surface, like you watch all the trailers for Stanley Parable and you're like, this looks like a silly little game for $15. I'll grab it. It seems like you just make a couple of decisions, but then you actually and in no way, shape or form does like the description of the game or the trailers lead you to believe that there's a deeper meaning to it. But then you play it and you get like an hour and a half in, you're like, oh shit, hang on. Like you're actually thinking about something like, deep and meaningful. Cool. It's great. Yeah.
So yeah, I highly recommend it. Probably play the first one because the first one's so good too. Before playing the second one.
Yes. Like we said before, it is quite short. So if you only want to play a little bit of it, it's like 2 hours tops, I think, to finish it from start to finish. And it routinely comes on sale too on Steam. So, add it to your wish list and just keep your eyes and ears peeled because it'll probably be on sale at some point soon. It's probably on sale right now. Honestly.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, this is exciting. And it's just around the corner too. I love it when games do these announcements.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yep, it's coming out next month.
Yeah.
Like not, it's be out in 4 years, just
exactly. It's like, don't tell me.
Yeah, because you just get my hopes up,
Exactly.
But yeah, very exciting. I'll have to add this to the wish list. So I think the page should be up on Steam, I would assume.
To wish list,
because,
maybe.
To wish list it because it is so close around the corner. It's like 3 weeks away now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of a game that announces and is probably very far away.
Yes.
Crystal Dynamics I think they did a live stream. But they basically
the live stream wasn't Crystal Dynamics themselves. I think it was
it was for someone else.
It was Unreal Engine or whatever. They did their own live stream where they had a bunch of different sort of developers come on and like, we're developing this game using Unreal Engine 5, and Crystal Dynamics was one of the developers that was presenting part of it.
Because The Witcher is also Unreal Engine 5.
Yes.
So they must have talked about that too.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a new Tomb Raider game coming out. And it'll be on Unreal Engine 5. Is Unreal Engine 5 like a new Unreal Engine?
So, yeah, Unreal Engine has been around for a good while now. I think it came out like sometime in the early 2000s, I want to say, maybe even the late 90s. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Someone please fact check me. But yeah, so Unreal Engine has been developing, every couple of years or whatever it is. And with the new consoles coming out, I distinctly remember Unreal Engine 5 being heavily referenced in the PlayStation showcase when they were announcing the PS5.
Okay.
And they the way to like showcase the true strength of the PlayStation 5 was by using games that were developed in Unreal Engine 5, or demos, sorry, that were developed in Unreal Engine 5. So it's a very powerful new development engine that a bunch of studios are, leasing out and using to create their games in, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. Like I said, there is no date or gameplay or any visual shown because it's probably really early in development. So it's going to be quite far away.
I think the guys from Crystal Dynamics just literally like sent in a video of like them in the offices that were like, yep, we're making Tomb Raider a new game. It's part of the franchise that's, the last 4 games that have come out. It'll be in the sequence of things. Thank you, see you next year. Like that was probably it, because there was no like title card, there was no name other than Tomb Raider, there was no release window, there was no like them saying it's in very early development. It's probably like we just found out 2 days ago that we're making this game, and we need this is what we know, and we know nothing. Like it was probably something along those lines.
Have you played the Tomb Raider games?
I have. They're great. All the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games that have come out of like, I think 2012 was the first one that Crystal Dynamics sort of like when they rebooted the whole franchise.
Oh, okay.
And they're great games. I love them. They're really well done. Like I've always been like Tomb Raider's been around for years and years and years now. I remember Tomb Raider being on the original PlayStation and stuff.
Polygon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's great to see them still using the character. And if you haven't already, I do highly suggest the other Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games. They should be relatively cheap these days because they have been out for a little while now. So, give them a little Google and find out. But yeah, they're great games. I do enjoy them. Highly recommended. Yeah, I'm gonna get Emma to play them. I've told Emma, I think, to play them a couple of times. I feel like she would enjoy them.
I think the latest one is pretty good, right?
Yeah, the last 2 have been real good. Yeah, I've enjoyed pretty much all of them. They're kind of like
Uncharted.
They're very Uncharted in a sense, and that's why I wanted Emma to try them because it's like obviously you can't get. I think you can get Uncharted now actually on PC. I could be wrong. I think they released it.
I feel like they did.
Yeah, but for a little while, obviously that was the only other way to get any sort of like Uncharted-ness was to play Tomb Raider because it was available on all the consoles, whereas Uncharted was only available on PlayStation. So if you're on Xbox and you wanted that kind of a feel and that kind of like exploration vibe and, doing a little bit of puzzle solving and a little bit of combat, Tomb Raider was the option. So it was, it's great. But I'm very excited for this. I'm going to keep my eyes and ears peeled because, I love all the previous ones, so I'm sure they're going to do a great job with this one.
Yeah, I'm sure they will too.
Yeah. Moving on though, I guess we're going to flip-flop a bit. So Stanley Parable was like, the game's coming out this month, get ready for it. Tomb Raider was like, we have no idea when this game's coming out. But LucasArts have come back and said, you know what? We kind of know when this game is coming out. I can't give you an exact date, but it's sometime this year.
Yeah.
They're dancing the line in the middle there. But yeah, LucasArts is bringing back the Monkey Island series. So it's going to be an all-new game, appropriately entitled Return to Monkey Island, and it's going to be headed up by the original series creator, Ron Gilbert, which is very exciting for all the point-and-click Monkey Island adventure, fans that are out there. And there's tons of them. Monkey Island is like consistently the one game that I hear come up.
Oh my god, I know.
People love in the point-and-click adventure like sort of realm. They're like the staple of that genre.
They really are. I really should try it. I just wonder if it's a bit dated.
It dated, yeah. That would be the only thing that would probably limit you from playing them. Is just that they were made like 90s,
when
2000s,
did they come out?
Stuff like that. So they're a good couple of decades old now. But I'm sure like if you put on like your little children goggles, I guess, and you maybe dumb down your vocabulary to like that sort of level, I'm sure they'll be great games.
Holy moly, the first one came out in 1990.
Yeah. So they've been around for a good while.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there's been a few.
So I guess I wonder if Ron Gilbert had made some of them.
Yes, there were some of the ones in the middle. I know
until maybe LucasArts.
Yeah, I think. LucasArts I think owned the rights to them since the start because LucasArts were pretty popular like development studio in around that time, like the 90s and stuff. Like when they sort of really shot off the popularity with Star Wars, they were like, shit, how do we differentiate and sort of do something a bit different, like still using all of our creativity aspects. And they shot off into video games, because it was sort of the next best like thing. It was the future, I guess, at that time, and still is. And for a little while, LucasArts games didn't do too much. Like throughout the 2010s, I think I want to say they didn't really do too much with their IP, and like there was a bit of a lull. But there has been a real resurgence in terms of LucasArts, developing more and more games and IPs for their studio and stuff like that. So they're very much on like the forehand. They're returning a serve for sure.
Yeah,
they're coming back into the limelight. So it's very exciting to see. I haven't played any of the Monkey Island games personally, but
maybe you will.
I'm sure that people out there, maybe I will. I'm sure they'll. I think there'll be a bundle. I'm probably thinking with all of them.
Oh yeah,
actually,
probably.
You know what? They might even be on Game Pass. I feel like that's where I've seen them. I feel like I've seen them on Game Pass before. Surely, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to give them a go, or maybe just I'll watch some streamers play them. I'm sure people leading up to the game will be like, let's do a Monkey Island playthrough.
Yeah.
And I'll just sort of see what they're all about. But a little bit more on it. The announcement trailer didn't show too much about the story, obviously, because you don't want to sort of, give away your whole game in the 2-minute trailer. But apparently it's going to follow on from Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge. So, it seems like it's going back to like the main... like the main line Monkey Island games, I guess. I'm sure there will be it seems like there was a couple of spin-offs, over the years.
LeChuck's Revenge was 1991.
Yeah.
So the latest Monkey Island was 2009. So they're going all the way back.
All the way back, yeah.
After Chuck's Revenge.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is crazy. So you're going to have to go back and play the first 2 Monkey Islands at least, I guess, for the story to continue on. But it's very exciting, and it's cool that Ron Gilbert actually, after all these years, was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do another Monkey Island. That sounds like fun.
Maybe like
I'm sure
an
LucasArts
idea.
gave him a fat bag of cash as well. Like that's probably a reason. But yeah, I'm sure he's probably had these ideas brewing for years and years and years. You know, like any sort of creator does. They just have a constant flow of like ideas, whether or not they're good or bad is another thing. But he's probably just had, notebooks with scribbled ideas down in them for years about the potential for another Monkey Island game that he filmed. So it's, we'll just have to wait and see. It does come out sometime later this year. No hard release date, like I said. But I'm assuming it'll be towards the end of the year,
Yeah, I think that's what people speculate.
Yeah.
Lastly, our favorite thing in the world, Xbox Game Pass, might be getting an Xbox Game Pass Family Plan.
This is very exciting.
This is so exciting because family plans just make sense. Nintendo, from my memory, is the only one that can do it. That does it, sorry?
Yes. Yeah, currently. Other than like other ones like Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like in terms of
video games, they're the only
Nintendo,
one.
I think, is the only one, yeah.
So if true, this is very exciting. You can add up to 5 accounts within the same country. That's a big...
cool. Okay.
With the subscription handled and paid.
I guess that makes sense.
It does.
Because I'm sure you could probably be like, you could find
a cheaper,
sort of anyone that's in a country that has a currency that is worth less against your dollar, and be like, hey, can I be your theoretical sister so that I can get Game Pass for $3.99 instead of $7.99?
Yeah, like, it's possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, we don't know how much it's going to cost though. That's the thing. It's should theoretically be cheaper than 5 individual passes put together. Hopefully. But yeah, this is really exciting because then you can just, buddy with
this is great.
A group of people and get,
Because the thing, like we talked about this tons last week, and I don't want to get into the whole pricing structure of Game Pass again because
that was PlayStation. That was
about price. Yeah, that too. But what was I going to say now? like I'm in a family Nintendo subscription with a bunch of friends and stuff like that. I think there's like 8 of us or something.
Yeah.
You know, like the Nintendo one, I think you can have up to 8 people, which is quite a large family. But I'm in that because, like, while yes, I do use Nintendo Switch Online, I use it very limitedly over the course of a year. So I feel like I'm kind of missing out on the whole benefit of, you know, Nintendo Switch Online, because I also have a PC, I have a PlayStation 5, I have, you know, Netflix, I have all these other things that take up my time, and sometimes I just can't get to my Switch, you know, like, or there's other things that I'm like, you know, I'd rather do this. And it's the same with Game Pass as well. Yes, I do pay $10 a month for Game Pass or whatever it is. Like I said last week, at the end of the day, I don't want to have to sit there and scroll through and think of, oh, what new game can I play today? You know, like I'm not going to play a new game every day. I'm not going to play a new game every week. I'm going to pick it up when I have the time, and I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm a bit sick of Siege at the moment. I'll try something different. But 90% of the time, I'm like, yes, let's go play some Siege, or yes, let's go play some Minecraft, like my staple games. And so I feel like, in the same sense as the Nintendo Switch Online, I feel like I'm wasting like the potential of Xbox Game Pass because I'm not utilizing it every week or every day, you know? So it'll be great because it'll offset a little bit of that cost, and I won't feel as guilty, I feel, if I'm part of a family, because I'm only paying $5.99 a month now instead of $10.99. You know, like it's a bit less for me to feel guilty about, and like I feel like I'm throwing my money down the drain. You know, so it's a great move from Xbox.
Yeah,
you know, this is huge.
And it's nice, like, if you want to do a games night with the people who have family plan, you can be like, okay, let's all download this and let's all play it tonight. And it makes sense on Xbox to keep people on Xbox and recruit more people to Xbox. So I totally get it. I think it's great.
Do you think this was, because I don't think it has been officially announced yet. I don't think Xbox has come out.
It's not 100% confirmed.
Like this is all rumors and leaks, but it seems like they're very.
It's probably going to go ahead.
Rumors and leaks. It seems like it's going ahead. But do you think that Xbox sneakily sort of leaked this after the announcement of the PlayStation streaming service as a way to be like, no, don't forget about us. We're still over here. We're still chilling. You know, like.
They could have. I mean, things like this do take
suspicious.
It does take time.
Specific timing, you know.
But the timing of it is very interesting. Yeah,
it's very sus.
Because I don't know. I haven't heard any more about the PlayStation plan since it was first announced or talked about. Yeah, it could be, because honestly, Xbox wins for subscription.
Still, they're still king. Yeah,
but PlayStation is still, I think, a better console.
Yes, yeah. They each have their pros and cons, you know.
They do.
And like I always tell people when they're, you know, pondering what to get these days, I feel like I have, and it comes from a point of privilege in a sense, but I feel like I have the perfect setup in the sense that I have a PC, so I can play all my high fidelity PC games comfortably on that. I have a PlayStation 5, so I can get all of the PlayStation exclusives like Spider-Man and, you know, Uncharted, Death Stranding, so on and so forth. And then I also have a Nintendo Switch, so I can cover the Nintendo corner of gaming too. And having said that too, the PC, most of the Xbox Studios games that are exclusive to the Xbox console also come out on PC.
Yeah.
So my PC is kind of like a double header in a sense, where it covers Xbox and PC gaming in some way. You know, so I feel like that is the perfect setup for me still. I have no desire to run out and grab an Xbox console because my PC does it probably better than an Xbox console can. I'm not sure. But yeah, I you know, again, coming from a point of privilege, I have the ability to own all 3 of them, and luckily I do. Not everyone can, so
yeah.
Yes, yeah. But I'm very excited. Hopefully they announce it sometime soon. Because I would like to switch off paying monthly for Xbox Game Pass and join someone's family. Because like me and Emma would, without a doubt, jump on that within a minute. Sure. You know, and I'm sure there'll be tons of other people out there that are in the same boat. But yeah, very exciting time to be a gamer with all these studios going head to head as to who can get them to sign up
who
for
can
what.
Win over
it's great.
the gamers.
Yeah, it's great. Now I did talk about it at the start of the episode, Jens.
Yeah.
But we did get our first episode of Moon Knight last week. So I trying not to keep it as spoilery as I can.
We can do no spoils first, like impression, and then we can talk about it as a spoil if you want.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen it, I guess if you don't want any spoilers potentially, maybe end listening here, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. But if you have watched it, it's kind of fun. You know,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, like so far we've only had an hour worth of content, kind of less than an hour worth of content.
Yeah.
But I feel like it set the stage pretty well. Episode 1, you know, we got enough of a background on, you know, who the main protagonist is and like what he does and stuff like that. But we also got just enough of like, you know, the little like flashbacks and tidbits and like, you know, all of his disassociationing to like sort of keep us going forward and like, ooh, you know, I want to see where this story goes type of stuff.
Yeah, like a slight cliffhanger.
Yeah, we got a little bit of that. So it was great. And like all the characters I loved, you know, they were all engaging in their own way. It was, I just enjoyed it. I can't wait tonight, actually, the day of recording on this Wednesday, we're getting a new episode. So I'm very excited to, you know, finish up editing here and then have some dinner and watch that. That'll be great.
But yeah, I think I'm so curious on where they go with it, but so far I'm really enjoying. I enjoyed the first episode and I will continue to watch it. So if you are on the fence of watching it, I'd recommend it if you have Disney+.
Give it a go. Yeah, give it a go for sure. I feel like it'll be similar to WandaVision in the sense that WandaVision was in like a way, each episode was very cliffhangery, or like each episode revealed something, you know, crazy about the whole premise of the show and like the characters and stuff like that. You know, we found out that Wanda was controlling everyone, you know, and like we were like, oh shit, and stuff like that. And then we found out that it was like, you know, contained in its own pocket, and like it just every episode was kind of something like whoa. And I feel like Moon Knight is going to be the same thing. Like I feel like every episode we're just going to get something like a little bit new, and it's going to be like whoa.
Yeah.
And I do want to go on to say a little bit about it in the spoiler take,
okay,
if you don't mind. So I didn't pick up on this when we were watching episode 1 because they were very minimal Easter eggs.
Okay.
But I'm going to look them up again real quick. But there were a couple of, I saw after the fact, little Easter eggs that you could see throughout Moon Knight that could lead to the potential of Doctor Doom appearing. And now this could just be, you know, Marvel doing Marvel things and putting little Easter eggs in because they're like, you know, this is a character we know, haha, Easter egg. But it seems a bit too good to be true because they're obviously looking for, you know, new villains to appear in the future phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And with the new acquisition of the Fox Studios, they do now own the rights to Doctor Doom again to use in films and media and stuff like that. So it is very, you know, there's a potential it could happen. So one of the things was there was on one of the trucks, there was a sign that said Von D on it, and like it cut off after the D, and it's Doctor Doom's real name is Victor Von Doom. And so you see Von D and you're like, hang on a minute. The truck did turn out to say Von Darrellman, but it's still, you know, like there is the potential.
Yeah.
The other big thing, and this was the one, like that Von D thing, I was like, okay, it could go either way. Like it's a bit of this, bit of that.
Yeah.
But do you know when Moon Knight rocks up in like that sort of greeny pasture type looking thing? It was like, it looked like Finlandy, Icelandic type area, you know? I didn't pick up on it, but a bunch of people did, and it looked like in the comics, Latveria is a fictional place that appears in the Marvel comics, and that's where like Doctor Doom sort of makes his base of operations, you know, and he has this castle there, and all that sort of stuff. And we didn't really see a castle too much, I don't think, in the show, but the way that Latveria is always like showcased in the comics and in other media is very similar to, you know, Iceland and like all those sorts of like European-y looking countries, in the fact that it's very green and like, you know, there's the cobblestone brick walls and like, you know, the little European-y like towns and villages and stuff like that. And people were assuming that the place that he rocked up in like that little dream snap was Latveria, which is very exciting, because I was like, what if, you know, like, who knows? He could pop up. I don't know. But that was just my little tidbit that I wanted to, you know, put in there and, you know, get your thoughts on, because
I have no thoughts.
When I saw it, I was like, whoa, what if, you know, like, hang on a minute. Like, it was, because Dr. Doom is a great villain. He is so good. I cannot wait for them to see like what they do with the potential of his character. At the edge of my seat when I saw the sort of leaks and you know, possibilities that there could be. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if there's any more little Easter eggs tonight, I'm guessing, you know. I hope so, but yeah, very exciting to see where this show goes forward, you know.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for this week, Jenz. Was there anything you wanted to add on before we wrap up for the week?
No. Me.
Yeah. No, nothing from me either. As always, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to go and check out hellohellolive.com. That's where we keep all the little blog stuff, and, you know, the podcasts get uploaded there, and you can see all the other links to all the other fun things we do over on the website. There's also the YouTube, and obviously you listen to it right now, but the podcast. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. What?